it's Tina and I'm back, and I have a fun video for us today. So we are playing with the new Smashbox Always On Cream Shadows, and I must say I have not picked up anything from Smashbox in a while, like a really long while. I haven't been intrigued. Nothing has interested me in their recent launches, and I don't think they've even launched that many things in the past few months. So I was excited to see this new product, and if it's a cream eyeshadow, I'm always game to try it out. So these are, like I said, the Smashbox Always On eyeshadows. There are quite a few shades of these available. They have neutral shades, they have bold, colorful, bright shades, and they also have more subdued wearable colors. So I was very intrigued, and I went ahead and picked up quite a few of them, and I'm gonna test them out in this video for you guys today. And what I'm gonna do a little bit differently in this video is apply these to my eyelids, since that's where we're gonna put them anyway, right? So why not go ahead and show you how they apply to the eyelids. But before we get into all that, let's just go through the product information really quickly. I am reading this off the Sephora website. It doesn't quite match up with what Smashbox says, and I'll point out like the little extras that Sephora put in. So it says here that the Always On Cream Eyeshadows are a vegan, cruelty-free cream eyeshadow infused with primer so it lasts up to 24 hours. Now, nowhere on the box or on Smashbox's website does it say that this lasts up to 24 hours. It just says that it's long lasting. So this claim is something that Sephora decided to tack on, so we're not even going to pay that any attention. So it says this high pigment innovative cream shadow won't crease, cake, smudge, or settle for up to 24 hours. Again, 24 hours, just take that with a grain of salt. It's also fade resistant for up to 24 hours. Okay, the cushiony mousse-like texture glides on for a mistake-proof monochromatic look. It blends easily with your finger or a brush and can be used as a shadow or liner. Think rich, comfortable matte color that's easy to apply and blend. And these retail for $22 a piece, and they contain 0.34 fluid ounces or 10 milliliters. Now, when I actually got these in my hands, I was like, oh, these are actually a pretty decent size for a cream eyeshadow. I was expecting them to be smaller than this, but this is a pretty sizable tube. So for instance, my Urban Decay Primer Potion, this contains 0.37 fluid ounces, so it's right up there with this product. And then the MAC Prep and Prime, this contains 0.4 fluid ounces, so this contains more product, but this is right between these two products that are meant to be used as eyeshadow primers. So I thought that was great sizing for this cream eyeshadow. They say you can use it as a cream eyeshadow, and it has primer in it, so you can skip the primer, you can use it as an eyeshadow base, and then you can also use it as an eyeliner. So that's very intriguing, right? So let's go ahead and do some swatching. That's what I want to do first, and then we'll jump into my thoughts about the product, the formula, and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and dive into the swatches. So before we get into the swatches on the eyes, I want to show you these swatched out on my arm so you can see all the shades next to each other, and you can see the level of opacity that you can expect from these colors. So here are all the shades that I have in my collection swatched out, and I think these are so stunning. They're so beautiful. So let's go ahead and start swatching these on the eyes. So to apply these products, I'm gonna go in with a flat synthetic brush. This is the Buildable Concealer brush from Smashbox. And we're gonna start out with the shade Amber, which is described as a warm brown. And I'm just gonna apply that all over my lids. And I'll also go in with my finger just to see if that application helps at all. But with the brush, it's smoothing on pretty easily, and it's setting pretty quickly. I'm getting even pigmentation without any patchiness, but this looks a little bit sheer. So I'm gonna go in and try to build this up and see how it layers. And I'm just gonna do patting motions instead now to build the color up. And that is actually giving me a lot more payoff. Okay. And if I just use light tapping motions, it blends out without any issues, and I'm getting full opacity here. I'm gonna try with just my finger now to build this up to see what color payoff we get, if it blends easily, and also to see if as we build it up, if it gets crepey or cakey. This is actually applying really well. And this color almost matches my skin tone exactly. So if I wanted to use it as an eyeshadow base, I definitely could. I think that layered up well. Alright, we're gonna move on to the second shade and allow this to dry down to see if it creases and if it gets cakey or patchy. So the next shade up is Greige, which is described as a gray brown. And I'm gonna start with the brush again. Ooh, yes. This color seems to be a little bit more seamless on the lids than the amber shade. It's so smooth. That's great. Oh, I don't even need to go in with a finger with this color. This is a gray brown shade, so if you wanted like a neutral wash of color, yeah, okay, I'm done. I don't even have to do anything else with this color. That applied beautifully. Oh my god, I'm so happy with that. I think I found a technique to apply these, so I might go back in and try it with the amber shade. You pick up a decent amount of this product and just sweep it over the lids and blend it out, and that was so effortless. This is just gonna give you a soft wash of color, of course, and that I think looks great. I'm just gonna try to blend out the edge so it's nice and seamless. Wow, I like that a lot, so I'm gonna actually try to do that on the amber side. So you pick up like a good amount and then just sweep it over the lids. With the amber shade, I don't expect it to give me too much color because it matches my skin tone almost exactly. So I don't expect it to really show up, but oh my god, okay, yep, that's the method. And then just go around the edge of the color. So we're definitely gonna see on the amber side if it cakes or creases. So I'll let that sit for a few minutes and then come back and show you what it looks like. Alright, so it's been a few minutes. Let's go ahead and see how these have fared on the eyes. And on this side, I have the amber that I layered up like crazy. And it hasn't really gotten cakey, but I feel a little tightness out on the edge of my eye. And I can definitely see the layers, but it's not crepey necessarily. It's not cakey. It just feels heavy, and I will say it doesn't flake or anything. And I do have a little bit of settling into lines, but there's no creasing. I have lines in my eyelids, so I expect there to be some settling, but there's no actual creasing to this eyeshadow, which that's a good thing. And then on this side, the Greige, I am still impressed with this shade. I love it. Like one swipe, it's on. The color looks amazing, and this one doesn't have any creasing or caking because I just applied a light wash versus this one where I layered it up. So my recommendation would be don't layer it up like I did, just do a wash of color like we did on this side. So let's go ahead and try out the other colors. So the first shade up is Ochre, which is described as a deep yellow, and I'll do the same method that I did with the gray shade, which I found to work really well. And I'm just gonna apply it all over the lid and sweep and pat. That applies really, really well. I'm gonna wipe off the excess because it looks like I got too much product on the brush, and then go around the edge. So if you wanted an ochre yellow, here you go. Let me go ahead and blend out the edge of this color because I don't need all that color payoff. Well, actually, this is a swatch, so maybe that's fine, right? Let me go back in and build up the color just a bit. Yeah, that actually applies really, really well. And I'll try to layer that up in a little bit. I'll allow it to dry. But we'll go in with the next color, which is olive. This one is described as a golden green. And I'm going to use my Real Techniques Expert Concealer Brush for this. This is still a synthetic brush, but it's a little fluffier than the concealer brush that we were using before from Smashbox. And look at that. I think this brush is probably better than the concealer brush. Oh my god, that color is stunning. Yes. So let me go ahead and try a little bit more of the ochre shade using this brush, and I'm just tapping and building that color up. I think that is amazing. This one is a little bit more sheer. The olive shade, just like swiped on, full pigmentation, no issue. Like that color is so pretty. And then this one, it's a little bit patchy, but if you're gonna use it as an eyeshadow base, that is really, really stunning. So here you have olive and ochre. All right, moving on to the next shade. So the first up is Suede, which is described as a vanilla. And I'm going to apply this using the Real Techniques Expert Concealer Brush just to give myself a wash of this color all over the lid. And as you can see, it's applying well. It is definitely a light beige vanilla shade. And this one is a little bit sheer. It reminds me of the shade Amber, but this one is a lighter tone. I would probably use this one as a base shade for other colors or if you're a lighter skin tone, but I don't see using this as an all over color for myself. It would definitely need to be something that I use with other shades. And again, it's a little bit more sheer, similar to the Amber shade. All right, let's go in with the second shade, which is Barista. This one is described as a deep brown. We're using the same brush and I'm just gonna apply this one all over the lid. This one is a beautiful dark brown, almost coffee brown shade. And I think it would make a beautiful smoky brown eye. It's a little bit more on the warm side though, so you do see some orange to that. And that applies beautifully. Easy, great pigmentation, blends out seamlessly, and it's not patchy at all. And I applied it with one swipe, no issue. So I definitely think this is a fantastic brown shade. I really, really like this one. Moving on to another shade, we're gonna go in with Cerulean, which is described as a muted blue. I'm gonna apply this directly to the lid again. This one is like a light sky blue shade or like a robin's egg blue. This again is more on the sheer side, but it's layering up pretty well. I have decent color payoff. It's not really shearing out as long as I'm tapping my brush, and it's given a beautiful color. Oh my god, this is definitely giving me that Iggy look from the 60s. That is so pretty. It's a little bit more on the sheer side, but it gives me full coverage all over the lid without being patchy. It's just not a very opaque shade. So here you have the shade Cerulean. All right, so let's go ahead with the final two shades. So the first up is Sienna, which is described as a burnt orange. I'm going to use the Real Techniques brush for this one and pick up the product and swipe it. Ooh, again, I think I picked up way too much. So these bolder colors seem to have a ton of color payoff. You don't need a lot to get the color to show up. So I'm just gonna try to go around the edge and blend this out. And so far these colors blend so easily around the edge, like they fade so well. This Sienna shade is stunning. It's a burnt orange shade. It's really, really pretty. I like this quite a lot. So that is Sienna, which I think is stunning. I think layered up well with this brush. And now we're gonna go in with Ultramarine, which is described as a deep teal. I'm not gonna pick up as much on the brush because I think we've learned our lesson, and this one is a rich, oh my god, this is stunning as well. Like, look at that. That color is beautiful. Ooh, this color is so stunning. So far, this is probably the most pigmented one. I mean, it's a brighter color, right? But that is so stunning. Oh, wow. I really love this color. Okay, let's blend around the edge. These don't dry down immediately, so you have time to work with them, but you still want to work quickly. You don't want to wait for them to dry down. And let's just go. Oh, yes. Alright, that's it. I think these two shades are amazing. The pigmentation is definitely there, and they feel very lightweight because I didn't have to go in with a lot. I think these are stunning. This aquamarine shade is like a deep smoky teal shade. I really, really love it. The Sienna is stunning. If you just want like a wash of color, that is so pretty if you just want like a warm color on the lids. And these seem like they would work great as a base for eyeshadows, or if you want to do a cut crease or even a liner with this teal shade. That might work out. So here are those final 2 shades. Alright, first of all, before I say anything else, I must say removal of these eyeshadows. Wow, I removed them with such ease. And remember, these were the more pigmented shades, and I literally just used a little makeup wipe, swipe, swipe, and they were gone. So easy. I'm gonna go in and show you guys how these remove, specifically with the ochre side, because I feel like that will show you better. But look, it just wipes off so easily. No issues. It removes really well. And I don't have to go in and scrub at this. I really like that because I don't like going around my eyes and scrubbing too much to get long wearing makeup off. So I think the removal process is a breeze. Alright, so the next thing I want to try is doing a liner with one of the richer shades. So I'm going in with the teal shade, which is Aquamarine, and we're going to try to do a winged eyeliner. And this is gliding on really easily and really well. I'm getting great pigmentation, great color payoff. I think this will only work with the richer shades though. So the teal shade, the dark brown shade would work great as a liner. The lighter shades, I don't know how those would work, but this one definitely glided on well. I was able to get a nice crisp line and great opacity in just a couple of swipes. So I think that is fantastic. I'm actually gonna try to do a line with one of the lighter shades. So this is the ochre shade, which is the yellow one. And we're gonna see if this will give us a liner effect as well. Alright, it's getting on my lashes. But yeah, it's still behaving like a liner. It's not as opaque as the teal one, but I'm still able to get pretty decent color payoff from it. You would definitely need to layer this up for full opacity. But that actually works pretty well. I like it. I'm gonna try the Sienna shade as well. I'm gonna just go over the teal, and that is also applying pretty well. Okay, so if you want to use these shades as liners and kind of do a mix of the shades, you can. So I put the Sienna shade on, and I'm gonna go in with the dark brown. I think the dark brown and the teal are gonna be best for eyeliners, but I don't know about the other lighter shades. I'm gonna also grab a little bit of the brown and apply it on my waterline just to see. My waterline is sensitive, so I don't like to do this because my eyes get very watery. But yeah, it applies to my waterline and you can see the color. Should we try the teal? Let's see what the teal looks like. Yeah, it shows up. And yeah, I think you can definitely use these as waterline liners, but you're gonna have to be a little bit more careful. So here is my messy liner application. Alright guys, now that you have seen all the swatches, you've seen the application, you've seen these blended out on my eyes, what do you guys think? What do you think? Oh my god, okay, I am obsessed with these. When I tell you I am obsessed, I mean I am obsessed. I don't use that word lightly. These are so fantastic. So when I first swatched these and applied them to the eyes, I was like, excuse me, what is this awesomeness? I need more. So I went ahead and grabbed a couple more shades because I was just so impressed by the formulation. I couldn't get enough. I didn't get all the shades. I just got the shades that stood out to me as ones that I would use. So hopefully my swatches were helpful in case you were curious and wanted to pick up some shades of your own. There are more shades available, so you can probably just check out the different websites and see the shade descriptions in case there's a shade that I didn't personally swatch that you may be interested in picking up. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So I want to quickly cover the packaging. These come in regular white boxes from Smashbox. Smashbox has always been very sleek and clean with their packaging. This is a pro-focused line, so most of their packaging is going to reflect that pro quality. The shadow tubes are basic plastic squeeze tubes that have a matte black finish and silver writing with the Smashbox logo and the name of the product. And at the top of the tube you have a clear strip that shows you the color of the product that is inside the tube. On the back you have the shade name and manufacturing information. What I find interesting about this product is that there's no indicated usage life. I typically give cream products up to 12 months usage life, so take that for what it's worth, but there's no actual recommended usage time on this packaging. The cap is also a matte black and it screws onto the applicator, which is a pointed squeeze tube applicator. The opening at the top of the applicator is so small that there is going to be little to no air that goes into your product, and this also gives you tons of control over how much product is dispensed at each time. You can squeeze out just a little or a lot depending on the look that you're going for, and then the screw top is so airtight that it's going to extend the life of your product, so you're not going to have air just getting in that product and drying it out. And I have to definitely give kudos to whoever designed this packaging, because there was so much foresight from the applicator that is going to give you control of how much product you dispense to the airtight cap that is going to ensure that the product doesn't dry out too quickly. I must say kudos to you guys, because this is so well done. It doesn't have a doe foot applicator, which I detest in a cream eyeshadow, because with those you keep putting air back into the packaging, and then it's not as sanitary because you are going to apply it to your eyelids or apply it to the back of your hands, apply it to your palette, whatever, but then you're going to dip it back into the product. With this type of packaging, there's nothing else going back into the tube, and I really appreciate that. So big thumbs up to Smashbox for that. Give whoever did that a raise, because they did a great job. So now that I've gone on and gushed about the packaging because I am so impressed, let's go ahead and talk about where you can pick these up. These are available for sale on Sephora.com, Ulta.com, and also on the Smashbox website. You can also find these in select Ulta and Sephora stores. Now, the one thing I'll note is that Smashbox has 15 shades available, while Sephora and Ulta only has 10 shades, and the 10 shades are not the same across each website. So depending on the shade that you're interested in, you may only be able to get it on the Smashbox website, because it seems like they have exclusive shades to their website, and then Ulta and Sephora also have like their exclusive selection of shades. So just keep that in mind in case you see a shade that I swatched and you're like, where is that? Yeah, you might want to check the Smashbox website. I will leave links on where you can pick them up at all three websites, so that's easy for you to navigate. Now, I'm not affiliated with the brand or anything, so don't get it twisted. I'm just able to generate affiliate links for the majority of the websites that we shop so frequently in the beauty space, so that's why those are affiliate links. But enough of that, let's go ahead and talk about the product and the performance, because that's what you're here for. You already heard me. I am so impressed with these. I love these so much. There are a couple of shades that are a little bit trickier to navigate, so keep that in mind. But overall, I love this formulation. That little mousse-like texture that they claim is so lightweight, it's so airy, and it just glides onto the lids. It's still a cream, but it has a lighter, airier texture than like a typical heavy cream shadow does. And I love that. Oh my god, it feels so lightweight on the eyelids while still giving me a punch of pigmentation, which is kind of incredulous, because you're like, really? How did it do that, right? Like, how does it pack so much punch but feel so lightweight on the lids? The shades that I'm in love with are the more colorful ones, so Ultramarine, blowing it out the park. We have Sienna, stunning. If you want a wash of color, you have Greige and Taupe and Suede and Olive, stunning. The only shades I had trouble with are Amber and Ochre, because they wanted to share out. They didn't give me like full opacity in one swipe. But Ochre layered up pretty well, and it gave me a beautiful wash of this mustard shade on my lid. But with Amber, it kind of shared out in some spots. I was still able to layer it up, but when you layer this up too much, it gets a little thick and tight. It feels like it's tightening on your lids. It doesn't feel heavy or anything, but you can feel that it's set down, and it created a little bit of a tightening effect on my eyelids. So I don't recommend necessarily layering these up. The best way to use these is to give you a wash of color, either for a monochromatic look or as a base for other eyeshadows, and I think they work perfectly for that. As as for using them as an eyeliner, I think the colorful shades are the ones you want to stick to for that. I don't think you're gonna want to line your eyes with a beige anyway, right? But the aquamarine shade, the sienna shade, even the olive shade create beautiful lines on your lids. You just need to apply them with a regular liner brush and they work really well. They also smudge out well on the lower lash line, and I also use them as a waterline liner, and while they weren't like the ultimate best waterline liner, they still wore pretty well. So I love the versatility of this product. I can't get enough, okay? I cannot get enough. I think these are so spot on. These are so amazing, and I love that they have colorful shades, but they have more muted colorful shades. So you have like the olive shade that is a very wearable, subtle color, and then you have Suede and Greige that gives you just a wash of color on the lids. But then you also have the more skin tone shades. So I have Suede and Amber that give you just a wash of neutral color on the lids, and I love that too because then you can use them in eyeshadow looks as a base to your eyeshadow colors. I think these live up to the product claims. So it says they won't crease. They haven't creased on me, and I have oily lids, and this is without primer, so you know that is a true test of these eyeshadows. I had no creasing, I had no caking, no smudging, and I didn't have any fade in when I tested these out for a longer period of time. Now, as far as the 24-hour claim, I don't know where Sephora was coming from with that, but they did not need to do that because none of us should be wearing our makeup for 24 hours. Now, if you just say they're long lasting, maybe 12 hours I could jive with, maybe 8 hours, but to tell me 24, no. You can kick that out the door. And these oily lids, child, they're a true test to the staying power of this product. These are very long lasting. They wear a long time. They set in place, but you have time to work with them, so they're not difficult to blend out or anything, which I love for like an all over one shadow look. That monochromatic look that they kind of highlight, it definitely works really well for that. And again, the mousse-like texture is so airy and lightweight, it just blends so easily, but they set down, and they set down well without creasing, fading, or smudging. So I absolutely, definitely love that about the formulation. Smashbox definitely has a hit with this one. They knocked it out the park, and I am so glad to see them releasing really great products to their lineup because it has been a while. Like, whew, when was the last time you saw them release something? I don't know, but these are stellar. So I love them. I love them. I can't say enough. I'm gonna stop blabbing because if I blab anymore, you guys are gonna think I'm being paid, and I'm not, because Smashbox should really sponsor me, but they didn't. I went ahead and picked these up myself, and I have no regrets. These are so awesome. The only thing that I'm kind of hesitant on is the price point, but the price point is in line with other Smashbox products, and it's in line with their regular eyeshadow primer as well. So while the price point didn't surprise me for Smashbox and for the product type, it's still a little bit hard to swallow for a cream eyeshadow. I mean, it's a single eyeshadow product. It's a single color. So for me, I wouldn't say run out and grab all the shades. Like, pick a shade that you know you will get great use out of, and I don't think you will be disappointed. For me, I am happy to have all the shades because they are so versatile, and there's so many different uses for these that I'm definitely gonna get my money's worth. So I am absolutely happy with these, and I highly recommend them. I can't say anything else about it. So hopefully this video was helpful in case you were curious and you wanted to pick them up for yourself. You saw how they applied, you saw the shades, you saw the swatches, you saw all of it, okay? And you might want to go ahead and pick up a couple of shades for yourself. So again, hopefully this video was helpful, and I will leave the links down below where you can shop and pick these up. But if you're not comfortable with that, just shop the way you normally shop. No muss, no fuss. But I'm also gonna leave links to my Instagram and Twitter where you should be following me along. You can keep up with my video posts over there because YouTube ain't notifying nobody, okay? Sometimes the notifications work, sometimes they don't. So if you want to keep up with my videos, you probably want to follow me on social media. But that's it for me. Until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye, guys.